Good morning, everyone. Welcome to this week's edition of Coffee with Jim and James. James, as usual, my memory just came back. You know, Phil and I have known each other for a long time, but I don't think he remembers the first time I almost met him. Thinking back to October 2011, St. Louis, Busch Stadium. It was either game 9, 10, 11 of the World Series. I don't know. And I had a seat there. I was so far back, I think I was in another zip code, but I had binoculars on, and down right next to the dugout, the home team dugout, I saw this man. He had banners. He had a band behind him. He was cheering them on. Now, I will say in a few minutes, somebody went streaking on that field. I'm not going to confirm or deny it was somebody we know. But anyways, that might have been the first time that I saw and or met Mr. Phil. How does that sound for a somewhat almost believable story?
The weird thing is on my screen, which is the one that records, you pointed to me. So that's awkward. Yeah. I don't know Phil as intimately as you do, but I did run across him a few times at some Texas Gas Association events, and we're excited to bring Phil on board today. Phil, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. I'm great. Thank you guys for having me today. It's really great to be with you.
He's live outside the EGW headquarters there, as you can tell, live in the sunshine. Jimmy, I'm not even going to lie and pretend that I'm best friends with Phil, because we shared more dialogue today in the pre-show, I think, than we have our entire lives. So I'm going to let you bring Phil really officially on board and set him up for success.
Okay. Well, Phil, at this point, why don't we, we've known each other for years. We actually sat on the board of the Texas Gas Association about the same time that I popped off. You're still on the board. You've been in the industry for years. Would you give our viewers just a quick synopsis of your history? Then I do have a follow-up question because it's a very important one.
Sure. I got into the utility business in 1988 when I started with Mueller Company in my hometown of Decatur, Illinois. Mueller moved me a year later down here to Texas in a fire protection division sales role. Not long after that, they folded that division and I went over to the gas group. That would have been about 1990. So I've been in the gas industry since 1990. From there, I transitioned to AY McDonald, moved to the East Coast, then moved back to the Midwest in the wonderful city of St. Louis, the home of the World Championship many times, St. Louis Cardinals, where Jim and I first apparently met, almost met. Moved back to Dallas with Smith Blair to get back to Texas. Went into distribution for a while after that, and then in 2001, decided through a series of events that I wanted to start my own business, and that is what EGW is today. Married to Liz for 32 years. We have 2 beautiful daughters, and we live right here in Flower Mound, Texas.
Flower Mound.
We're practically neighbors, Phil and I.
That's right.
Almost hit Flower Mound.
Right.
Okay, wait a minute. A date. You said a date, and now I'm thinking in my head, is there something special coming up this year with EGW? Is it a bicentennial? Have you guys been around for 200 years? No, not quite. Although it seems like your presence in the industry has been like that. Go ahead, share with our viewers what's going on right now.
Well, on May 15th of 2001, or almost 20 years ago, that is the day that I incorporated the business to begin EGW Utilities. So May 1 of 2021 is going, or excuse me, May 15th of 2021 is our 200th anniversary. So that's a pretty big deal.
It is. It absolutely is.
Did y'all hear the thunder here? I just got a big roll of thunder here. We're just going to power through it because we're professionals.
We are.
That was thunder for the 20-year anniversary.
Yeah, it was rolling. I didn't know if it was for that or if the Thunder was the precursor to the event you guys have coming up. Huh? See, professionals. Phil, tell us a little bit about the event you guys have coming up. What's the purpose behind it? How did we get there, and what can we expect?
Well, this event is the first ever virtual utility solutions conference, is what we're calling it. I want to go back a little bit and tell you that historically, from the first year we opened the business, we did what we called a road show. And we would travel from location to location, usually in a trailer, and we would introduce our products and services to utilities, usually between 60 and 70 stops a year, demonstrating and letting people put their hands on the tools and so forth that we sell. Well, last year, obviously, we weren't able to do that because of COVID, so we did a virtual road show, and we wanted to do something with a little different spin this year. And what my team came up with was, I think they kind of sensed that there was a thirst for people to re-engage, which I think we all would agree with. And so we came up with this idea of presenting what we call a utility solutions conference. And so we've been working on this thing for probably about 3 or 4 months now. And it's May 25th, which is a Tuesday, through it's 25th, 26th, 27th, so Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. It's going to be a series of 1-hour segments on a variety of topics, all presented from a kind of a problem solution or opportunity solution type of an approach. We've tried to find industry experts in all of the different topics that we're going to discuss, and that's going to be on a wide variety of things. There's going to be some sessions, for example, Jim, we talked about this not long ago. What's going on in the supply chain related to polyethylene pipe? Why can't we get it? When are we going to be able to get it? What's happened? So on and so forth. We're going to talk about that. We want to talk about also a session having to do with virtual training, which is a topic near and dear to you all's hearts. What did we learn during COVID? We got a lot better at it, obviously, out of necessity. Now we're going to look back on kind of lessons learned and how we can use this to move forward as an industry. There's a lot of benefit, obviously, that we got out of it. We've got some new technology topics like new metering technologies, smart fusion equipment, some new tools for service people, how to deal with static electricity when you're squeezing off polyethylene pipe. There's just a little bit of everything in there for a variety of people across the utility. Got some safety related things. So I think it's probably a total of about 12 1-hour sessions that we've put together.
Okay.
The registration page is up. If you don't mind, I'd like to do a shameless pitch here.
Oh,
We were going
please.
to ask you.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
how does everybody register for that? How do we do it?
Well, it's a long address, but you go to www.egwutilitysolutions.com.
Got it. Okay, Amy, we'll put that over here, somewhere over here.
And then put /utility solutions conference.
All right, we got that.
That will bring up our registration page, and you can go on and register for each session individually. Just to make it a little more fun, we're going to give away a really nice door prize at the end of every session for everyone that's registered.
Very
and
nice.
then at the end of the conference, we're going to give away a really nice door prize for anybody that will sit there and listen to me talk during the wrap-up session for a few minutes at the very end. So that's pretty much that in a nutshell.
What is the cost of the conference?
For you, Jim, or everyone else?
Yes.
Let's do everyone else.
Okay, everyone is free.
Wait, what?
No charge to anyone for the conference.
Free.
Wow.
So if you want to
Free.
sit in for one session for all 3 days, morning to night, it's still free? Wow.
Absolutely no charge. And you have a chance to win a gift of over $100 in value. How about
That's
that?
awesome. Phil, and for those that don't know, I'll tell you what excites me. And even with what you said, Phil, about the old road shows, anyone who's seen EGW at a conference, I always feel bad being a vendor myself. I walk in, I pop my little backsplash up behind me, a little shower curtain, and throw out a couple of hats, and I'm ready to go to the bar. And here comes EGW carting in some more stuff, and they're carting in stuff when I got there, and then carting in another thing. I mean, they travel well. They put on a heck of a show anywhere they go anyway. So excited to see that. And Amy will hook us up with some quick ways for people to be able to access that. That'll be awesome.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
And EGW does do a good thing. They bring in trucks to conferences. I remember Phil and I were in Kentucky one time. Phil, you were actually working the show. You and I were separately. And I remember at least offering to help you at the end of the show, trying to get some things to the truck for you. So
You did help me. You did.
No.
I never forgot that, Jim. I appreciate that very much.
No.
Let me just add one thing.
Yep.
I love to go back from time to time and kind of review the business plan that I put together back in early 2001. And one of the things that was in the business plan, it was a pain point for me. And that was that when I went to a lot of trade shows, I didn't get to talk to the people that actually used the materials that we sold. And so I had to come up with a way to get in front of those folks. And that's the way that our road show came to be. Was, you guys know how this goes. They don't send a lot of crew people, foremen, superintendents like that to shows, and understandably so. But what worked great for us was to go to them. And so we're a little bit of a traveling circus, if you will, when we go out. But it accomplishes that thing that we recognized years ago of our customers are not sitting behind desks most of the time. Most of the time they are, they're active crew people. And so with this conference, we're really encouraging all of those folks with the technology that we have now, get on your cell phone, get on your tablet, or if you're at home, there's something in this conference that we're doing for everybody, and really very much so for the guys who use the tools and equipment and technology on a regular basis.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And it brings up another thought that I have, and it kind of continues on with that little Kentucky episode that you and I have, and your commitment, though, Phil, to the industry and connecting and having relationships with, when you look at an organization from, all the way through it and all the way sideways, multiple different departments. And I think, and I'd like to hear your perspective on it, but I'm kind of leading you into this because I know in our worlds, relationships, networks, trust, having, people you can call on, even if it's not for a direct answer about something, but more so for, hey, Phil, do you know anybody in the industry that does this? And you help out somebody, boy, that speaks volumes down the road. So what's your thoughts about networking relationships and how that plays a critical part in our industry and what we do?
Well, Jim, it's probably one of the things that I love about this business the most. Our whole thing is about solving problems, connecting others and serving people.
Yep.
And that's kind of our core purpose. So you kind of use the example of, hey, can you help me with this? We don't want to be the company that says we can't help you. We want to be the company that says we can't help you, but call Jim or call James. They'll know somebody that can help you with that.
Yep.
It's kind of just goes back to the right thing to do, right? The kind of people you want to be.
Yep.
And it's all kind of reciprocal. I help you, you help me. Even with competitors, we try to be friendly with our competitors. We try to work with our competitors. All those things kind of come back to you in multiples, in my opinion. That's just my approach to business. I think the other thing I love about the gas industry is some of my best friends are people that I've met through my job. people like Dan Pajak, who you guys
Yep.
know.
Yep.
Dan and I met. I followed Dan as the AY McDonald regional manager in New England back in the early 90s. He went to work for UPSCO, which he now co-owns. They were my biggest customer. We've stayed friends and business associates now for almost 30 years. And I consider him a close friend. We talk probably once every couple of weeks. I could just go on and on about people that I've met through this industry. A guy that retired 5 years ago called me the other night at 8:00. Hey, I found something I know you want, and I bought it for you, and I'm going to ship it to you. Fantastic. It's just that kind of an industry, and I really just feel great about it. And whether it's customers or suppliers or guys like you who, just a little kudos to you guys, what you put together here. You kind of made, lemonade out of lemons with what we've got for a predicament. And it's really turned into a really neat thing. And I know you enjoy doing it. I can tell by just watching your broadcasts and talking to you guys about it over the last couple of weeks. So thank you for doing this too. I think it's a real service to the industry.
You bet, Phil. Yeah.
Thank you for saying that. It's been my vehicle to get back in touch with folks. You know me, Phil, 20 some conferences a year, shaking hands with 1,000 people, talking to them, having conversations, the friendships, and then all of a sudden this happened. So it's as James came to me a year ago, I got something for you. He goes, it's going to be therapy. It'll help you. And it really has.
And now I need therapy. It's like it's totally it's reciprocal. You're right, Phil. Yes.
He has to spend time with me.
It multiplies. Well, Phil, we wrapped the show. If you've watched any of them, which you haven't, I won't judge you. If you watch the show, we always finish the show with a question, and I'm excited to hear your answer today. So, Phil, do you love what you do?
I absolutely love what I do. I do. I love it every day. People ask me all the time because of my advanced years. Jim, you didn't laugh enough when I said that. You should have laughed a little more.
He felt it. He felt
my hearing aid wasn't on. I couldn't get that one.
No, I get the question all the time. When are you going to retire? And Dan Pajak asked me that just the other day.
Yep.
And I said, I as soon as I don't enjoy coming to work and doing what I do every day, I'll start to think about retirement. I've got so many exciting things on my plate today and almost every day, and I see so many opportunities to open up new avenues for the business. We've created 3 new businesses within our business here in the last 18 months. Awesome. And there's so much opportunity out there. I've got my oldest daughter in the business, my youngest daughter who's just coming out of college. She's not in my business, by the way, the oldest, but she works for a customer. The youngest one has an interest in the utility business. So, I don't have a bad day in this business. I really don't. I love it.
You'd miss it, wouldn't you? I mean, I would. That's when I think about retirement. To me, that almost seems like a punishment.
We'll be those old men. And no offense out there, because we're getting there rapidly. We'll be the old men at TGA that they go, who do you work for? And you'll be like, nobody. Well, you're a member? Yeah, I'm an associate member for life. They made it for me. We'll just be hanging out with everybody. Yeah. Still showing up for the receptions and drinking the free little beers. All right. Well, man, Jimmy, it's quite a guest. Me and Phil, neighbors after all this time. We didn't even know it. I think we heard the same thunder.
We did.
At one point.
You want to meet up later?
Yeah. How about, let's say halfway would be like Marty B's.
I could be there in 45 minutes.
See, me too. See? We thought we were joking.
So a prime example, everyone, of what happens in the industry is that we just don't make connections. We make friendships in the industry.
No doubt.
and they are so strong, so long lasting. It's a wonderful industry, and one that I think I'll speak on behalf of all three of us, gentlemen, that we absolutely adore, we respect it, we cherish it, we love it, the whole bit. So
Yeah, we are blessed, very blessed.
I might need a tissue right now. I'm welling up a little bit.
Yeah, Phil, tell everyone we said hello over there.
Yes.
All of our friends. It's weird not to see the people we see and play golf with and all those things while we're out and about. It's really odd to, miss people you don't even really know that well. I'm just kidding. You know what I mean? The people that we see, maybe once a month or something as we're out and about. It's weird to have that taken away last year. So,
yeah.
Well, let's hope that we can get back to it sooner rather than later. And I'll look forward to seeing you guys and shaking your hand in the near future.
Absolutely. Phil, on behalf of James and I, thank you so much for joining us today. It's been a wonderful time. Everyone, please go to the EGW Utilities Solutions website. Phil, is there a link on the website, or they need to do the /?
There is. If it's not there, it'll be there in the next day or so.
Okay. Okay.
But you can go to the website, or you can go to the /Utility Solutions Conference.
Cool.
Okay.
We'll link it up in the posts on socials. We'll make it easy for them. So cool.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah, and check it out. I mean, whether you're in the industry, spend all 3 days there. If you're not in the industry, come see what our industry is about. Do check it out. So again, Phil, on behalf of James and I, thank you so much for joining us. So we know your schedule is jam-packed, but for carving out a little bit of time for us, we're very grateful to that. Everyone, thank you for tuning in today. We hope you enjoyed this episode. Please hit the like button. That's what keeps us going. So, or follow us. But until next time on Coffee with Jim and James, everybody, please take care. And as I always say, stay safe. Everyone, have a great week.
Bye-bye.
See y'all.
Thanks, Phil.
Thanks, Phil.
Thank you, guys. All right.